Congratulations on deciding to homeschool your children this fall. What a big decision. What's that you say? You don't remember deciding to do that? You don't? You don't own one of those Nissan NV 3500 vans that just magically shows up in your driveway if you even utter the sentence, I think we should homeschool our kids. Is that thing not the best? It just swallows families. You can put like 87 kids into that thing. You didn't make a well thought out, deliberate decision to become a homeschooler, then what are all these kids doing in your house right now? Why are they still here? Shouldn't they be in school? When will this weirdo summer end? Never. That's the answer. Never. 2020, you rascal. You turned us all into homeschoolers. But fear not. I live in the South. I've been to the future because school starts earlier here. And I've come back with 7 ways that you can survive virtual school. Way number 1, expect some stress. There are 2 reoccurring nightmares you have about school when you're an adult. The first is that you showed up to a college class for the final exam, but you haven't attended class the entire semester. You know absolutely nothing and are completely unprepared. Have you had that one lately? The second nightmare is that you show up for a high school class late and the entire school is already where they're supposed to be. Every door is shut, the hallways are empty, and you run down the hall desperately trying to find the classroom, but you can't. I can still hear the sound of my feet on those squeaky floors. I can't find my locker. I can't find my class. I can't find the principal's office. I'm lost and I'm late and I'm in trouble. That's essentially what happens for the first few weeks of virtual school. Your kid wakes up and checks Schoology, Google Classroom, Zoom, ClassLink, and a Bulgarian software program no one has ever heard of and is definitely stealing your face. And your kid can't find the link to the class. The class has started. They can see on their watch it started. Everyone is sitting there virtually and they don't know how to log in and they're stuck. Or the system doesn't work. This morning, for instance, Zoom was down. Just down, whole thing. It felt like trying to get on the Hogwarts Express without the acceptance letter. You're at 9 3/4 platform at King's Cross, just running into the wall. Only the wall is Zoom. And yesterday it worked. The day before that it worked. But today, no magic for you. There's going to be some stress. Expect it and have a plan to handle it, which brings me to tip number 2. Make your kids move. I wear holes in the butts of my jeans. I wiggle so much when I write a book. I'm like this, going, moving. I'm not proud of that. I'm not ashamed of that. I just want you to know that I have a hard time sitting still for long periods of time. I think Mark Twain had the same issue. That's why his friends called him Patches. For all the patches he had in his britches when he was writing Huckleberry Finn. That's not even a little bit true, but it does make me feel better. It does. I have what doctors call jet engine blood. I need to be active, and so do your kids. We all know that, which is why regular school has recess and gym and walking to the cafeteria for lunch and walking to the library for a book. School has a dozen different ways to keep your kid in motion between all their classwork. Do the same thing at your virtual school. Each day, McCrae goes out and runs. She's got gym, 4th period, and each day she does a lap around the neighborhood, gets to listen to some music, and comes back and is ready for some more virtual school. How'd you do? Good? Yeah. All right. Did you listen to music? Yeah. Nice. Say hello to the people on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. All right. Way to do gym. All right, hop in. Got some more virtual school. Back to the grind. You got it. You can do it. Your kids don't have to run, jump rope, or do burpees in your dining room. But the more you can make your kids move, the happier they're going to be for the rest of the day. Now, will doing this be harder if you, say, have a new kindergartner and a full-time job? Of course it will, but I keep trying to tell you, you're a homeschooler now. Just tell your boss, hey, you know what? I'm going to need a few hours off every day now that I'm running a virtual school out of my kitchen. It won't impact my performance, I promise. It's only going to impact maybe between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. That's the only time that it's going to be an issue. I might be a little distracted trying to do virtual school, but other than that, it'll be great. Tip number 3, get your kids some blue light blocking glasses. I can't take the credit for these. My wife bought them for our kids. Apparently, it's bad to sit in front of a computer screen for 8 hours a day. How are we just discovering this now in 2020? You know what I've been doing? for the last 22 years of my life sitting in front of a computer screen for 8 hours. I can't wait until 2042 when we discover that earbuds aren't the best things to jam directly into your ear canal, and that social media, it might not be great for self-esteem. Oh, science, what won't you teach us next? These have helped my kids have less headaches, and they're stylish enough that they'll actually wear them. Nothing ruins a high schooler's day like saying, hey, you don't get to see any of your friends. You have to work here, right here, virtually. And I got you some glasses that look like something your Nana would wear to watch Murder, She Wrote. They're blue blockers. Put these on so that every kid in your high school can make fun of you over Zoom with a screenshot. The link to the ones we bought is in the description. Tip number 4, boost your signal. God bless Jenny Acuff. And the last point I made, she saved my kids' eyesight. In this point, she boosted our Wi-Fi and saved my job. You know who else needs to be on Zoom during the middle of the day so that I can make money and pay for pants and stuff? Me. You know what's challenging? When every kid in your house, your neighborhood, and city is slamming the internet all at once. We did 3 things to address that. First, we changed over to AT&T Fiber. It's been fantastic. The second thing we did was hardwire me directly into the network. So yes, I do have a cord that runs all the way upstairs through the railing. And if you follow it along, like a trail back home, you can see that's where I'm doing work. There it is. Now, it's not the best look. I'll admit that. Occasionally I have to tell people, hey, please do not step on the internet. But it is so fast. A wire is magical. I forgot how good a wire was. Now, obviously, the wire isn't a permanent solution. We're going to hire someone to get in the crawl space and work it all the way up through a chase into my house so I can plug in right in my office. Now, I could probably figure that out myself, but my crawl space is about this wide, and I work hard so that I can pay someone to crawl under my house. It's the main reason I work. I do speeches, I write books, I do consulting so that I can hire a professional and never have to crawl under there. We had a dead skunk once, and I don't know if you knew this, the last thing a skunk does when it's finally crawled under your crawl space to die is spray one last time as like a final middle finger to you and your house and everything you stand for. And the guy could have told me, hey, it's going to cost $1 million for me to crawl under there and get that skunk. And I would have been like, that seems fair. I'm willing to pay that. I'm not getting under the crawl space, but I'm so glad that I'm plugged into the network. The third thing we did to boost our signal was we bought a Google Nest that creates a mesh of Wi-Fi. I absolutely love this thing. I want to own like 100 of these and create a Wi-Fi that's like kudzu in here. Just thick Wi-Fi all over the house. I put the link to what we bought in the description. If you only learn one thing in this video, hear me on this one. Boost your signal. Winter is coming. And by winter, I mean 1,000 kids in your neighborhood all trying to do virtual learning and video learning at the same exact time. The 5th survival tip is give teachers and the school system grace. Teachers, administrators, the school board, the principal, they all want the same thing. They want your kid to get the best education possible. They're not trying to make your life difficult. They're not trying to ruin your workday. They're not trying to get your kid to drop out of the 4th grade and become a longshoreman. I mean, how would they even get down to the docks? How would your 4th grader get to the docks? They'd have to ride their bike, which is right off the bat, it's a bad look for the union. Like, that's not going to go well. And the other thing is, your 4th grade is probably not that strong. I mean, they can't lift a ton of stuff. I don't know your kid personally, but if you think I'm hiring him to unload my freight ship, you are sorely mistaken. This is a weird, awkward, challenging year for everyone. Give teachers a lot of grace. It'll make your life easier. It'll teach your kid a lesson about kindness, and it will remind the overworked, overstressed teachers that we're all in it together. They want the best for your kid. That's why they became a teacher. They didn't get into teaching because they were like, I want to get rich. Nope. They didn't get into teaching because they were like, I want to get famous. Nope. They didn't get into teaching because they were like, I want it to be easy. I want my job to be easy. Nope. They got in to teach kids, and they're trying to do that right now. And so the more grace you give them, the better the whole thing will go. Survival tip number 6, print out the schedule and hang it up. One of the strangest parts about virtual school is that it goes from being perfectly quiet inside your house to being loud and boisterous in a matter of minutes. For the first week, this is what I would do. I would tip downstairs and then I would ask this question. Are you guys in class? Are you right now? Are you, McCray, are you in class? Like, are you on Zoom right now? Like, you're on it, McCray. Then at other times, I would come downstairs and yell at my kids for talking so much and goofing off until they would say, Dad, we're in lunch right now. We're allowed to talk. Until I knew their schedule, it was chaotic. The easiest way to fix that is to print one and put it up with you. Put it up, hang it on your wall. That way you won't ruin their life by walking in the background of an AP history class in your boxers because it's not your fault they angled the computer toward the coffee machine. Hypothetically. Number 7, cut your kids some slack. Imagine if you were a company and 1 year you decided to hire 10,000 people overnight. You gave them computers they'd never seen, completely changed the way they do their entire job, and then you made them work alone at 10,000 different locations without any orientation or onboarding. How would that go for the company? Not well. Now imagine the employees were all 9 years old, because that's essentially what we've done. There was no 1 week of Zoom training for kids. There was no slow ramp up period where we onboarded a few new thousands of kids all at once. At every job I've ever had, there was a multi-day process to set me, the new employee, up for success. Not so with virtual school. We threw kids in the deep end and we're like, you're great at Fortnite. I'm sure you'll be able to fix an IT issue and file a help desk ticket on one of the 17 new software programs you're supposed to know how to use on this Chromebook that you got yesterday. You'll be fine. Cut your kids some slack. They're going to make some mistakes. We all are. I asked someone how virtual school was going just the other day, and she said, well, it's like house arrest. I can't really leave for that long because there are going to be IT issues that only an adult can fix. I have to hide in specific parts of my house so that I'm not in the background of Zoom, and I have to whisper at odd times of the day so that I don't interrupt a teacher. And I said, I get that, but I mean, you don't have to wear an ankle bracelet. That's a silver lining if you think about it. I bet those things chafe like, oh. I don't think my feedback helped her. I really don't. But hopefully today's video helped you. It helped you get ready for the future we're all in. Whether you love it or hate it, virtual school is here for a while. Make the most of it with those 7 survival tips. And if you've learned something that's helped you navigate it, throw it in the comments. I'd love to hear a tip that's made your life, your virtual school, a lot better. And bonus idea, don't talk to your friends who are amazing at homeschooling right now. Don't talk to them. They are winning right now, and they know it. Whenever I complain to a homeschool friend, they just go, oh no, and they laugh, and they go, oh no, please, John, please. Tell me your problems again. You have to occasionally help your kid with a math problem. What a burden you're living under. And then they peel off in their Nissan van. It's less of a peel off and more of a slow egress because it takes so long to get everyone buckled into the car, but you get the idea.